Oh, everyone's
LPL.
molding.
I forgot I was in the LPL.
Where
what
are
am I
they-
saying?
Oh my lord. Is LCK done? Is Yi, who you should forget not, come over? And has he seen this? Has someone pinged him and said, look, this is our most played top laner and we're going to blind it?
That is such a good response from Suning. I mean, hey, look, this is so the reason that people don't like having this this Renekton locked in so early is that you can build compositions that do very well around it, that are enabled by this Renekton that wants to jump into you. Picks like Gangplank obviously do really well because you can either keep it at bay, but if you want to just take that full brunt of the Renekton's force, something like an Aphelios does incredibly well. And short range AD carry with a bunch of damage that when you have a composition like FPX or Go2 now need to build around this Renekton can work very well in that scenario.
It's super interesting because after what we've just seen was like a GP top for Bin. You know, we've seen that Bin has a large champion pool and he's a carry style top laner who's willing to match this. Of course, in game one, we didn't know what lane it was going in. Gimgoon took it into mid, so Angel going Zoe again is a comfort pick for Suning. And already they've gotten some really nice stuff. FPX Nautilus has been crisp this season. I'm just having a quick look here. Doinb has played it once. Crisp has played it 16 times. So, you know, if I was...
Guess where that's going.
Yeah, let's have a guess. There's Lillia. Oh, no. Dagda. We've got Lillia once
I don't
more.
want to talk about it, okay?
And now, SofM, or do you want to support?
I'd rather support here. I think SwordArt again on this Leona. So the Leona is two forms here. SwordArt looks fantastic on it. Secondly, it really does well into this Nautilus where you can go super heavy on this engage. You also have a very strong winning bot lane. And again, I want to see what's happening in this bottom side because Khan is once more leaving these super late bot lane picks. We saw the flex with the Karma, but unless FPX have decided to go some sort of kill lane bot lane with, I don't know, a Renekton, a Pantheon or something along these lines, this isn't going to be a lock-in on the bottom side of the map already.
I'm just surprised that we get the Lillia again. After what we saw, I'll progress forward. I don't want to get hung up on this because knowing me, I will. The Lucian ban again, targeting 80 carries.
I think Graves should be next now coming in here. So we already saw how well SofM performed on the Graves, but also shutting down this Lillia, getting into her face. Stuff like that that can get into this Lillia and invade on top of her. She does not have a fun time against. So something Graves already gone. Volley Bear would be another great option. Or even a Nidalee or something for SofM. These are picks that you could potentially see come out that can go aggressive, although we haven't seen any of these Nidalee picks from SofM, at least this split.
So I like that you raised that. The set also is a flex ban away from FPX. It's going to be targeted. Now, if we're talking about what FPX want, they're a team that has been fitting into comforts. If we need to look at a top laner slash bottom laner, things like the Jayce still available, as Volley Bear gets banned away in the second rotation and
that was going to be my next one. It was like, maybe you go towards the Olaf here because...
Didn't catch game one. It's Gimgoon and Khan due to LWX being sick in multiple lanes. Warhorse has a big smile on his face, and Doinb now has Cassiopeia. While on the side of Suning, what we'd call a much more standard draft, because once again, heavy scaling elements when we see Aphelios, see elements like the Zoe as well, but also the GP once again. There's a lot for Suning to play with, and it's a more stable draft, you'd have to admit.
I definitely agree, and I love the draft that Suning have gone for. I think they have a lot of answers coming in for FPX side, but hysterics, we are going to be getting on to the Rift for game number 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all going to pan out.
Well, FPX backs up against the wall. B5 fans, you're the same. You want FPX to take this to a game 3 and try and win the series. Suning, they're on match point. If they win this, they move into quarterfinals, get that berth, and 10 point for regionals. All I know is one of the Suning fans had a cat. So Suning has cat buff here today, running into game number 2, and the night sky, if you see that sign in the top right, is a massive lion. That's what happens if you study astrology on the Rift. That's what happens when you live with a grey screen. Sometimes you look up and you wonder, why am I playing?
What has happened to my life?
Yeah,
what
but that's my solo queue. You know, I'm not going to bring that on the Rift. Those are outer-worldly troubles. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2, and welcome to FPX with Gimgoon mid again. and Khan top.
I feel like FPX are going to be mirroring a little bit of your solo queue experience in this game, because when I look at the way Suning can combat what FPX have got here, it works perfectly for them. You've got a strong bot lane presence in Bin who can have a winning matchup against Khan here after, or at least starting off on that level 2 from then on. You've also got some really strong cannon barrage ultimates where the likes of Doinb on this Cassiopeia really struggle when they're slowed and you've got this big AoE ult, because obviously you can't really get away from this. So setting up for Poke, Angel, Hunafeng to get into the mix, even SofM to start chasing people down.
And we're starting with a level 1 Cassiopeia, remember, so a lot of damage here with Twin Fang started first, but it's not Corrupting Potion, it's refillable. Even so, SwordArt in a bit of a pickle. And some good trading to kick off the game. Doinb low on mana. And Dredgeline doesn't connect, so Crisp and Doinb have to back away. I love that we're getting Crisp, the Nautilus, supporting the Nautilus player in FPX.
This is fine as Suning, though, because they've ran through all that mana on Doinb now. Doinb won't actually be able to do particularly much. Yeah. And as well, SofM, look at the path that he's taken. Started on this top side, in towards those Raptors, now down towards that bottom side. He will get down here, and if SwordArt and Hunafeng can hold this wave out, you've got to be pretty overextended to Crisp and Doinb, giving that opportunity for SofM to make these plays. But you can see Crisp is fairly worried about that himself, going to get a ward in.
But Doinb, just note the Twin Fang has to kill the minion, otherwise the mana is not refunded. SofM going to get spotted out here with the low clear, as mentioned. And Tian is on his way, level 3 himself. Chris running in, just needs to smite down, and SofM will hit level 3. Now with double buffs available, the fight begins, but Olaf, even exhausted, in a pretty good position as Hunafeng joins the fight. Crisp is low, and he gets bubbled from Angel. First blood not taken. Angel comes over, though, and sparks it. A 1-for-2 trade as Tian now flashes away. The Horsey is trying to get a pathway as Angel's at full health, and Tian doesn't have much in the ways of health or mana. Angel with 2 kills, and FPX are blown apart at 3 minutes.
And Suning played this so well. Hunafeng and SwordArt are able to have SwordArt move because that lane in the bottom side hadn't pushed into the turret. You have no mana left on Doinb. He's basically an arranged minion in these fights right now. And then Suning are able to turn that fight around. 3 for 1, 1,000 gold lead already, and SofM is off to a roaring start once again over Tian.
He gets spotted out by the ward here, but level 4 walking into the mid lane. Gimgoon needs to take a path, manages to get away. I know I called Tian a horse. I believe he is a deer. But to be fair, Hecarim was a horse. Lillia was a chameleon.
You mean Nico was
We get a Charmeleon. Oh my god. We get Pokemon on the Rift. This truly, we get B1 Renekton. Pokemon reference. This truly is the LCK. This is LS's region. You know, 2021, we'll give him an invite, bring him over and say, hey,
I have
brother.
a feeling he's not going to accept it.
Oh, why? He loves Renekton. Well,
look, we have a Charmeleon, but to be honest, it's Tian who's kind of set FPX on fire in this game, because with that quick invade, he's now set himself massively far behind. You can already see that CS lead. We highlighted how much Lillia needs to be a champion of snowballs to have these big effects. Yeah. Well, now, again, back foot for Tian. Gimgoon isn't able to get the pressure that he would like to try and help out in this mid lane, and Angel's already got himself off to 2 kills once again. Every single time Angel has got his hands on this Zoe, he's got himself these early kills and able to snowball.
This is the problem, that Angel's one of his best champions alongside his Syndra has been this Zoe, and we've seen snowballing effects come through when Angel gets an early lead and how devastating it is for teams. Once again, Suning set up in a great position with a 1k gold lead at 5 minutes into the game, and once again, we talk about FPX with this Jayce, with this Renekton, and the Lillia getting the ball rolling. It feels like we're repeating game 1 already, because SofM's invading the bottom side. Tian is a level down, and SofM has double Ruby Crystal versus only Chilling Smite. Over the wall, he's going to get spotted out as Tian now has to hit from the side. Smite comes down, and thank you for the camp, thank you for the leash, as Gimgoon's getting bullied mid as well.
Angel going to be able to walk away from this, get some good damage on towards Gimgoon, but expect this to continue going as Suning, as Angel has control of mid. Bot lane push is going to be in favor of Hunafeng and SwordArt, and you can continuously go for these plays as SofM. He's even using the fact that he's bullied Tian out of his bot side jungle to go towards this dragon.
Starting off the Cloud, 10% cooldown reduction on those ultis. You're a Gangplank, you're happy right now. As bottom side, SwordArt has actually gone in, but the re-engage from Doinb should be strong. Conqueror has been enabled with Graviton. And the push out from damage will send FPX to their turret. And there you go, first dragon, Ocean coming up next. So Infernal or Mountain Rift. If it's a mountain and you're Suning, you are cheering.
Definitely. And the thing is, when we see these trades coming in the bottom side of the map for Hunafeng and SwordArt, when you're kind of going even in health-wise for Suning, it's a big win because of the mana issues that Doinb has right now. It's not like he's got a tier. He's not like he's gone towards like a Rod of Ages or even as a catalyst as of yet, so then he can try and save up his mana and get a lot of that back. Instead, he's very much burning through this mana in all these trades. He won't be able to shove out. And this unlocks SwordArt, like we're seeing right now, to go and make plays elsewhere on the map, especially as we start to get towards that 7-minute mark where we have the Rift Herald available.
You're in a lot of trouble. SofM flashes in with the Chilling Smite, waiting for the engage. He's backing away, trying to kite it out. Gets healed up by Angel, who gets the kill. Confidence out of the madman in the jungle.
Very brave call coming through from SofM, but they do manage to get the kill. SofM now has to back, or at least, well, heal himself up as this Olaf, not wanting to venture into his topside jungle, realizing, hey, look, there may be a wild Lillia about, but Suning, once again, getting control of this game against FPX. And Chris does a good job to freeze mid lane, but it's just trying to put a bandage onto what is a pretty gaping wound for FPX right now.
Because this whole series so far, SwordArt has been the better roaming mid laner, as we've seen. That roam to topside in game 1 was so devastating for Khan. This time around, he hasn't been bullied as hard. He's actually had a better laning phase, but Bin isn't too far behind. 10 CS at the moment for a GP is not the worst, as Tian will be spotted out here. Hops on out, and with that movement speed, Bin might be in a bit of trouble, but you can see the cavalry is on their way. So they need to pick this play or leave.
And FPX are trying to make this play just before that Rift Herald spawns, but Suning are doing a fantastic job of reading this. Even having Hunafeng shove in that bottom lane means Hunafeng can now join this quicker, as Gimgoon will get hit by the Sleepy Trouble.
Jayce is in this series, getting bullied out. Apparently never more iconic duos. SofM's walking away. The Lilting Lullaby is available. Ragnarok's there as well. So Tian doesn't pop it down just yet, as Ignite was placed down, I believe.
Not worth for Tian to try and pop that Lilting Lullaby. It actually has a pretty long cooldown on it at the moment.
Yeah.
It's 110 seconds at this stage of the game, so Ragnarok not a worthy trade, but Suning now moving in. FPX level down.
They didn't know SwordArt was there. He gets a 3-man Zenith Blade as Bin's coming in. The Cannon Barrage lay it down. Can't get the first kill, but low health bars on FPX, while Gimgoon now gets hit pretty damn hard with the Trouble Bubble. Chris running away as Khan is in the middle of 3 people. Slice and Dice comes up and available. He escapes. He's on a ward though, and Angel has found him. Exhaust is there as Doinb flies on in. The Petrifying Gaze is available himself, and he has the flash. He's layered down, he cleanses through as SofM takes it on in. Tian gets through, the Lilting Lullaby hits 3. Petrifying Gaze not great, but Tian's ulti may have just set up the play. The Herald low and taken down. There's the potential of Lillia. She just got to hit more targets.
Insanely messy fight from Suning, though. Miscommunication on whether they were going in, whether they're backing away for that Rift Herald. They get Khan out, but he's able to group up with the rest of FPX, move in and command the territory. We got the portal combat.
Yeah, baby, but the problem is Chris doesn't have enough health. That's not fair. SwordArt's going to back away just in case, because Doinb was roaming on down, and fair enough, but FPX with a net win. And Doinb with the Rift Herald in hand.
And that's pretty big, because if anyone on this team for FPX wants to be the benefactor of that gold, I'm giving it to Doinb. Yep. I need this Cassiopeia scaling. He's our late game option, but we're going to get another look at this fight. And you can see a bit all over the place here from Suning. It's, hey, are we bursting down this Rift Herald? Are we trying to fight? What's the plan here? Tian flashes in aggressively to get that Lilting Lullaby. Tries to set up for Doinb, but at least that damage from the Petrifying Gaze is enough. Suning are all over the joint, and it means that now you get that confidence from FPX to push in and get the Rift Herald.
It's such a devastating ulti when you hit multiple targets, right? You know that it's like a 3-man Trouble Bubble that just connected. And for Tian, his best moment of the series so far. He's now 2-1-2. He's got his Runic Echoes, and also Thork Shoes in hand. Khan picked up kills in that fight as well, and he's gone play the Ruin King first. So this time around, we do have a Renekton who has some gold injection, as apart from game 1.
I don't mind it so much in this game because Khan is going up against Bin. It's not like the last game where it was the Renekton into the Zoe matchup, but FPX trying to put pressure on this bottom lane.
All right, bit of gold into Doinb. Once again, you talked about how important it is for this Cassiopeia, who now has tier and the Lost Chapter in inventory. Bit of turret plating to be taken here. And another main thing is that you push against Hunafeng, because even though we don't see Aphelios much anymore, he still has Crescendum, he still has a lot of damage, and is very good at pushing plates fast, so getting him away from your turret plates is crucial.
It's also the fact that Hunafeng, the bigger he gets, it's very scary for FPX's composition. We already see how in the middle of things FPX need to be between Tian, Khan, Crisp, even Gimgoon when he changes into hammer form. So Hunafeng gets enabled so well if he's got the likes of Severum Crescendum combo up. So if he's already at Infinity Edge and those those double Zeal items, he's going to be so difficult for Suning to for FPX to deal with. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see Hunafeng pick up an early Death Stance in this game, maybe as a third item, just because he's going to be dealing with a lot of damage.
Lilting Lullaby. Somebody wants to go Betty Bye-Byes, and SwordArt will do exactly that. Pick off for FPX in light of Dragon spawning. Sitting there waiting for them as Angel can't get the connection with the Trouble Bubble, so FPX get the kill. They also get their first Dragon of the game.
Nice from FPX. Good pick. SwordArt not expecting so many members of FPX to be there. So,
okay. SofM feeling pretty angry. Going to go on to Tian, and this deer is trying to run away. Gets the Dragon. SofM flashes out in the back of the pit. The Aphelios ulti hits Infernal. Not as much damage at this point in the game as Angel is angling for Tian, but Khan's coming in. The flash burnt by Angel. And Suning, what's going on? Tian now might be called out. The watch out need to escape. He gets burnt down and destroyed by Bin. So at least Suning gets something. But SofM has been behind enemy lines for a while now. They're on the chase. This
is not going to end well. This is just not going to end well.
Yeah, all right. Here's Crisp. Ragnarok not available. Dredgeline connects. Slowed down. Khan slice and dice.
Run!
And
Run, SofM!
Play the yakety sax. Because the Chilling Smite gets him out.
Keep going. Don't let your memes be dreams.
He's going to execute, but Shock Blast. Oh, it was dodged from, but Chris got the damage recently, and whatever we just watched was great.
The kill went to Chris, but no assist across the board as the poor picking up that kill. Very pretty happy with SofM. Plus, bought a bunch of time for Suning. Look at Bin in that top lane. He's pushing in. Won't be able to get another tower play before the timer ticks over towards 14, but still, it's given the opportunity for Suning to get back onto the map and get control of these waves.
Well, I'm glad we could reset with that. But gold at this point quite even. Tian is invading. Angel's on the other side of the ward. Gimgoon's there to sandwich him off. Angel might be in a really bad position. Tian misses here with the blooming blows, but still a lot of damage. Watch out. And Eep. And Gimgoon picks up the kill. Now 2 on the Jayce. Suning getting caught out this game around at 13 minutes in.
Suning's vision just hasn't been here.
Yep.
They're consistently having SwordArt wander into mid lane, not really realizing how many members of FPX are there. Angel getting caught out a second time. Now, don't forget, he was 2-0 to start off this game. Now, sitting at 3-3. Hasn't quite been able to have the impact we expected from the last game. However, we got to say, we're still waiting on Suning to scale. We're still waiting on Gangplank to hit those items. Triforce has just come through.
SwordArt now caught out. The whole of Suning caught out. And watch out, Eep once again. Tian gets a kill, and
I don't know why he's there.
I don't know what Suning are doing. Holistic, I guess they succeed as a unit in game 1, and they're failing as a unit in game 2.
Brothers in arms.
Yeah,
but
at least
still.
they're consistent in one
exactly.
aspect.
I don't know. You didn't even have the support. Bin does get some decent, a lot of damage.
I don't think Doinb can 1v1 him. There is a big level difference here. Miasma out and Petrifying Gaze once again. Not too great from Doinb. Here comes the Cannon Barrage down as Crispus helping him out, but Doinb once again, not too much damage, even with the Archangel Staff. Bin walking away, and here's the support. Gimgoon has a bit more damage in his back pocket. It's hammer time for the Jayce. You can't touch this. Third kill going over. Gimgoon with 3 himself, as now it's onto SofM, who's gone for the invade. Khan slices and dices, and we're not doing this again, are we, SofM? Stop it!
Get the music! Get the music!
I think we should give him a mixtape, the flash over. Khan is sick of it! Stop it! 4-0 now on Khan, though, and that's big. A much better game, too.
I feel sorry for Hunafeng. He's just in this bottom lane like, guys, I'm an Aphelios. Let me scale. Give me time to get towards these items.
Yeah.
He hasn't backed in forever. His coal popped a little while ago. He's still working towards the likes of this Infinity Edge. He's got more than enough gold to do so, but there's so much happening on the map right now. FPX, 1,000 gold ahead, a 5-kill lead, and we're only 15 minutes in.
I gotta say, I respect the flash from Khan.
I do.
Let's just be frank, he was sick of the bullshit. Like, honestly, at that point. And it's an important kill for him too. Now 4-0, as I mentioned before. He already had that Blade of the Rune King and Ninja Tabi. And if you look on the scoreboard, matching Bin right now is an important part as the GP gets a lot more gold. Gimgoon slightly there too, but at the moment, it is Hunafeng with the most gold in the game.
Hunafeng has been doing really well. He's got a bunch of those turret plates bot side, just took the turret himself. He's been farming up incredibly well. Like, Hunafeng is in a prime position. The problem is, he just needs that little bit more time. He wants to get towards the likes of the Runaan's Hurricane, a Death Stance, I would imagine is going to be the next one that's coming his way, because with how fed FPX are, the survivability of Hunafeng is going to be called into question in these fights. So I think picking up a third item, Death Stance, could really be good for the Sunni lady carry.
Good dodge away. If he gets caught out there, that's when FPX can start doing some damage. Because remember, FPX have started to look for these picks around these dragons, and the next one's coming up in about 20 seconds' time. Clearing out the vision for now is the priority. SwordArt has been spotted out topside and was trying to get a pick onto Khan, who backs away, but Herald put down Dagda. Momentum being started.
Hook just goes wide from Chris. Here, FPX, they've got the opportunity. They've got pretty good siege potential when you look towards Gimgoon, and great disengage strength as well between the Petrifying Gaze, so still need to be careful about how you approach this as Sunni.
Trouble lands, and he's a bit far forward. Cannon Barrage comes through, so does the Aphelios. Assault the Moonlight Vigil, flashed away from here by Gimgoon. Cannon Barrage not doing too much, but on the back end, Hunafeng with his autos is. Bin heading forward, and Angel once again cleansing through. That was the ultimate from Tian, and Sunni now with a crucial pick. Angel with 1,000,000,001 flashes. They'll have the momentum mid.
Play dissuaded. They can turn towards mid. They can turn towards Dragon. Sunni find the play that they wanted to go towards it. This is what we're saying for Sunni's composition. They can so aggressively get on towards FPX as Angel.
Steals it away. Troll Bubble flies through the air as well. Tian only manages to survive, but FPX lose their mid lane turret, and the Dragon going down is that 6% extra bit of stats here for Sunni, who, remember, have the Olaf, have the Leona, so for Sunni, with all those mistakes we saw before, things are still okay with gold at an even point.
And again, we're getting towards those big items for Sunni. The likes of the Triforce already completed a wall for Bin, but he wants to get towards that Essence Reaver where he can really start to be a menace in side lanes and also in these team fights. Same when we look towards Hunafeng, Runaan's Hurricane is going to be a little bit of a break point, but definitely that third item is where Hunafeng is going to come on. It's about 7 to 8 minutes before we see that.
Yeah.
If they can keep putting this gold in towards Bin and Hunafeng.
Looking across the board though, what should we be aiming for? Doinb's hitting a bottom lane turret. Just thinking, Baron's going to be up in a minute 30. Now, the bonus is as FPX, while you don't have an AD carry, you have a Cassiopeia. And Medusa's really good at taking down Barons, so you always have that going for you. There is the Archangel staff turned into a Seraphic Brace with second item on the way.
And the thing is, Doinb is more than capable of taking over these fights, especially when he gets to those 2 to 3 items of his own, especially if he wants to look towards something like Leandra's Torment. We've seen Riley's has come through quite a lot for these Cassiopeias, and I think Riley's would be a great opportunity here as well.
Yep.
Because what they want to try and do in FPX's side is, if Sunni are coming in, it's about divide and conquer. If you can throw down a Miasma, a couple of these spells that can separate out SofM, they can make these plays work.
SwordArt going in, flashes away after the Solar Flare, the re-engage from Crisp here, but in the middle of the Cannon Barrage is doing a lot of damage, and you swing, and a bit of a miss here from Hunafeng. Blooming Blows was used, and so was the ultimate from Tian, who's now a bit too far forward, but Bin can't get the barrel connection. As Sunni with a bit of damage, it's traded in response, and no one goes down.
Everyone manages to back away from that. Again, though, SofM does manage to get control of this bot side. River, we have that Baron up now, but obviously with the way that this game is going, neither of these teams will be able to rush towards that objective particularly quickly. So 34,000 gold, dead on even in this game. This is the battle that I wanted to see towards our playoffs.
But Bin, he's in the middle of this. Dominus is being used. Sees the minions go down, trying to make his escape. Flashes away. Still has the orange available. The W used orange up to the end. And Tian picking up the kill. A lot of damage between this two. And Bin getting caught out as a way for FPX to accelerate.
And it's not like Sunni are in an opportunity where they can try and take anything elsewhere on the map. They were all in the recall. Top lane has been super far shoved in. Angel trying to push that one back out. So a nice timing window from FPX to punish the overextension from Bin on this Gangplank. And still, though, this is where we need to see FPX using this to get control, get something back, and maybe looking for a pick here.
Dredgelight goes in. Crisp a bit too far forward, though, until Doinb arrives. Never mind, as Swelling Seed flies across Summoner's Rift. Dredgelight this time connects onto SwordArt. The Miasma laid down as well. Angel shows himself, but SwordArt's just dead to Doinb. That's a 27-second death timer, and they're in front of Baron. Teleport being burned FPX are going to try it.
It's a 2-level lead as well for Tian. He's so far ahead of SofM.
SofM spotted out in the back of the pit. Hunafeng coming in. Bin zoning off though. FPX are grouped up and Angel coming in with the trouble of a landing with a cannon barrage. The AoE ultimate. Doinb doesn't get the greatest ulti once again. And Bin is just swinging his machete around. Suning turned to the Baron. And FPX, are you looking at the champions Suning are playing?
That's the problem here, is that they aren't. FPX go into the pit. There's nobody tanky. You've got Khan who's gone for this Blade of the Rune King Black Cleaver build. He's not able to tank it. And Suning collapse, get the kills, get the Baron, and get the confirmed lead in this game for what has felt like so long.
I honestly feel like Suning just got the best leash of their life. The TY and old chap would have been the nice icing on the cake, and Suning now with Baron, the gold lead, and after what was FPX grouping up in front of them and spotted out an award the entire time.
But look at this combo. You get that paddle star coming in straight onto Tian. He's already out. Then the follow-up damage from Hunafeng, and the cannon barrage, as he said, icing on the cake. The cherry on top, as Suning are able to pick off the Baron. And now this late game scaling comp, well, you can see they're in the prime position. Hunafeng finishes that QSS. No more lilty lullabies or stuns for him. He is going towards that death stance next as well, which is going to give him so much tankiness in these fights.
But Bin might be caught out, just destroyed by card. You can get Baron, you can steal the purple worm, but if you die like that, FPX find more ways to take us to a game 3.
I don't know how many times Suning are going to get caught out. SwordArt is 0-5 right now. Bin getting caught out there as well.
He's 6-0 now. Khan is not going to hit that moment where he falls off as he catches him around skirting vision. Nicely done. Petrifying Gauge used mid though, and Doinb might be caught out as well. Too far forward. Gimgoon can't add anything. And SofM is on the run. Gimgoon walking through river. But he should be fine for now, while the rest of Suning might just run down mid because FPX want the dragon.
And they have Baron. They are more than capable of going for this. Tian is going to stick on towards this dragon. He's going to be late on his recall as Suning are powering down this mid lane.
Going to back now after taking it through. Suning here with the one Baroned up minion. Save him! And he's gone. And Chris won't try any shenanigans here, so...
Look at where Tian is. He's trying to get in behind them here to see if he can get the...
We need to look, because SwordArt's found the engage. It's onto the 6-0 Renekton, who still gets hit so hard from Angel. The flank you mentioned is there. Tian, I'm not sure if he was spotted out on the ward. There's a control ward there, so the chances are no. But he's not going to stick around to find out, as Baron enhanced recalls Gimgoon, looking for the pickoff onto SofM. Ultimate could be used, but SofM has his Ragnarok, so no lilting lullaby this time around, and Suning get away with no harm.
Back does come through from Angel, got the Morellonomicon. Would have preferred if he just stuck on the Oblivion Orb. I don't think there's enough healing in this game to really make a big difference here, but...
Control bubble.
Potential engage.
Alright, do they find Cannon Barrage is layered on top. Angel is coming in. No range there for the Paddle Star as SofM sends down the Undertow. Again, with the portal jump, Angel gets the range, but it's still not close enough. And this is the problem. Suning can engage at any time they feel like.
The thing
FPX
is, though,
can get caught out.
I mean, for a Baron buff play, not the strongest of plays from Suning.
True.
With the catches that came through, they got Atter in the mid lane. You got the Dragon who went the way of FPX. I'd be pretty happy with FPX for what was a fairly massive blunder in being able to pull that one back and keep this gold somewhat even now. Although it is a 3,000 gold lead for Suning, it's not like they extended it that much having that Baron play.
That's true, and they didn't get Khan. They didn't get that massive bounty that would mean a big difference for Suning. Khan is still a massive threat who's heading towards the Sterex Gauge as his third item. Is pretty much the same item path in terms of, 3 items for both top laners at the moment.
SofM's build is one of the funkier Olaf builds I've seen in a while. He's gone for that Warmogs first, and now is going in towards the likes of Deadman's Plate. This isn't something, like, this is a build I usually see on Sejuani or something like this. Not what you'd usually see on something like an Olaf, especially from SofM, who pioneered like the likes of that Knight's Vow build on Olaf.
Well, you know what he pioneered? He pioneered Redemption Lee Sin in Korean solo queue at one point. SofM also. Redemption Olaf, I think he applied to.
Oh, sorry, Redemption Olaf, not the Knight's Vow.
But he's done so much. SofM is like, you say the word funky. He's a funky guy who is very innovative with his item pass and tries a lot of things out. And in competitive play, we've seen him do a lot of different things. So it's nice to see SofM still has that layer of spunk, I'd say.
It just feels a bit weird because as an Olaf, you just whack a couple of things and you get your health back anyway. So it's not like the Warmogs is going to do particularly much. I do like the Deadman second. I probably would have preferred to see it first, just because the whole idea of this comp from Suning is to, all right, throw down the Cannon Barrage, enable SofM. He's going to gun straight for Doinb, see if he can whack down this snake before it really gets rolling in these team fights. And definitely having something like the Deadmans just gives a little bit more opportunity for you to go towards that. But we're going to have to look back at this mid lane, because FPX, they are desperately trying to find some sort of flank, trying to see if they can set up a team fight in which Doinb is enabled, where he can aggress forward and keep that petrifying gaze for if SofM or SwordArt try to go overly far forward, rather than having to use it as a defensive tool to run away.
Pings are getting spammed down though. For Suning, they're trying to do the same thing, pick off Doinb in the jungle. The 2.5 item Cassiopeia, who's really fallen behind, almost flame horizon by Hunafeng, who's on his 3rd item with QSS. And for Doinb, he just wants some gold, so he's picking up jungle minions, receiving waves. Suning won't get anything, but they are set up for the 22nd Baron. Khan on the bottom side, meanwhile, has TP if he needs.
Now, we have seen Aphelios get nerfed, where his Baron take isn't as quick as it used to be, but he's still pretty damn good at taking these Barons, especially when you have Olaf there as well. So you have to respect this as FPX, which is why they are starting to group towards his mid. Still that Dragon coming up in a minute, though. That would put both these squads onto sole points, so we'll expect a lot of fighting towards that. I think Suning at the moment are trying to bait FPX into a fight at this Baron, so they can either, well, pick up the Baron or use the advantage they have from here towards that Dragon.
There's a ward on the outside of the pit that's spotting that Suning are doing the Baron, but can FPX do anything about it? Bin is set up behind them, ready for the barrel chain. Tian has been put to sleep, hit pretty damn hard as the TP comes through from Khan. They re-engage onto this GP who gets knocked up. He runs in and takes Tian with him though. There's no jungler for FPX. It's a 4 versus 4, but better for Suning for now. As Aphelios has the range, sends out the ulti, hits Doinb, Solar Flare. Will follow through as well. Khan comes in for the long round flank. Petrifying gaze this time around from Doinb. Finally hits hard as SwordArt kiting away the support. Wants to kill the Medusa. But Doinb manages to take it. SofM low on the back of the pit. This Baron is not over. They want to keep it going. Take it down. And it is secured by Doinb, who's taken this fight as his own. And SofM, the last man standing from Suning.
They left Bin out to dry. Bin makes the play. They kill Tian. They can dive onto FPX and win the team fight with FPX so separated. But instead, now the Baron goes to FPX. This Dragon will go towards FPX. And we get to see it here. All Suning had to do was collapse. The TP was coming in. SwordArt was in a prime position to set this up. Instead, Bin gets left out. They don't burst down this Baron, and FPX managed to find this fight with all this confusion and miscoordination from Suning.
I look at Khan here because Khan, as well as Doinb, were crucial. Petrifying Gaze hit 3. And that sets up the fight with Khan coming in for that flank. Nothing Angel can do in the end. And really nice to see that Doinb has been struggling. Realistically, you'd say all series long, especially this game with his ultis. Hits one when it matters the most. And they end up cleaning the Baron thanks to him as well. So Angel can't steal it. And now, plot thickens. Baron in FPX's court. They've got a gold lead. We're almost to 30 minutes in the game. And these champions are hitting the end of their windows. They picked up a Mountain Dragon while we're in the replay, so Soul is on the horizon too. And for FPX now, what can they do with the worm?
Hunafeng is going all in on this lifesteal. He's actually got another Vamp Scepter in his pocket. He's going to finish off the Scimitar, and then we'll start to work towards something like a Zeal item. I actually would have preferred if he just got that second Zeal, like a Phantom Dancer, because the biggest issue that he's having right now is the burst damage that can come through from FPX. Between that Death Dance and then having the Phantom Dancer as well, he'd be able to survive so much better in these fights and actually find an opportunity to reposition and use the lifesteal that he already has.
True. Being going to receive the wave bottom side. Meanwhile, I just want you to note that it's an 8-0 Renekton now from Khan. Much better game number 2, and Khan is huge. This was a first pick Renekton. And one of the better first picks. That's what I'm going to get caught out. He uses a Ragnarok. He's got the Dream-laden bow on top of him, but now disappears. Poke from Gimgoon starting to get less and less impactful. As meanwhile, bottom side, the cannon minion with Baron is doing a lot of work.
Biggest value trade there for Chris. An auto attack comes out and you get SofM's ultimate. Fantastic. Now SofM is going to really struggle to play that front line that he wants to, because you see Tian throwing out these bowling balls, seeing if he can pick off members. Suning now pushing aggressively. trying to see if they can get FPX, but there's still 20 seconds left on this Baron.
But every time they move, FPX move to another lane and push with the Baroned up minions. Of course, the poke now is very scary from Suning. So even breaking this inner turret looks so hard for FunPlus Phoenix. But Khan adding pressure on the bottom side, very crucial at this point as Angel's coming in as well. Helps clear out the wave. Next one's in. And they just go back mid. Baron has expired though. So we're now waiting for that next Dragon Dagda to lead us to the Elder if it gets there. If Suning delay it out, then you have to think that FPX will maybe run out of options unless they can get another Baron steal, unless they can get a miracle pick and a miracle fight.
So the thing is, though, we are at the point where Suning have hit those crucial items. We've got the Infinity Edge, we've got the Essence Reaver, and the Triforce and Bin. We already talked about how strong Hunafeng is. The biggest issue for Suning is actually setting up these fights where Khan isn't getting flanks. Consistently, Khan has actually been great in finding positions where he can get onto Hunafeng, and if you've got nowhere to kite back as Suning, it makes things very difficult for you to try and play at range from the likes of the Renekton, from Tian as well, and that's where Hunafeng is starting to struggle. So I want to see if Suning, as we get towards this next dragon, can start to get there a little bit sooner, get control of the river. Now, you can see there's already some boards there, which will help that out, but they need to double down on making sure they are safe going into this pit.
Bin is critting for 1100. Bin, the 3-item GP with another BF sword, is another fear that I'm sure FPX will have alongside Hunafeng, who still sitting on those components but hasn't upgraded yet, hasn't actually gone back. Dragon up in a minute 15. I'm on this wild ride known as Suning and FPX to finish off the regular season. I didn't think Suning would be in such a position as they are now.
This is good from Suning that they're able to get these resets, get those big items that we talked about, and then hit over towards this dragon. The issue is, though, they're starting to actually move up towards this top lane. Forgo all the vision that they just got down because they want to try and make a pick on towards Khan.
Teleport's going to be burned. Only thing that can come out is the barrel. He's spotted out. No damage follows through, and TP's out of there for safety. But now with no teleport and dragon coming up, he has to move down.
But Suning have got to go back through this river now, and honestly, they're not really strong enough to just straight up walk into this. They needed to keep control. They took the risky play. The teleport from Khan keeps them safe, and now it's FPX with control around this mountain dragon.
Very true. The soul would change a lot. Is looking for the pick first onto Angel. Swell Seed does land, but there is no follow-up with that ultimate. But you can see Tian's damage has really hit new, as Angel's at half health, so those Swell Seeds will start hurting. And so will the Blooming Blows, as FPX concentrated around the river split with mid. Angel with the Trouble Bubble landing crucially as SwordArt's ultimate is available. Suning regained control and Angel zoned away, but the Dragon will be started here with Tian on the back of the pit.
Again, we're getting these flanks though. Khan in a good position here. He wants to get on towards Hunafeng, and Suning need to kite back. They need to set up correctly so FPX can engage from multiple
angles. They've been poked out. Doinb's walking on in. The ultimate used onto the supporters. Chris starts the engage off. SofM has been targeted as well. FPX have the numbers advantage in the river. SwordArt is going to be the first one to go down and drops like a fly as Doinb picks up the kill. Gimgoon is actually hit pretty hard by Angel and the undertow, which still doesn't kill him. He flashes over the wall, and now SofM is one against Khan. He gets burnt out as well as the TP is getting channeled into the pit. That is the Zoe, I believe. No, it's not. It's the GP, excuse me, which takes down Doinb. Dragon at 3k.
This is protect the jungler right now. SofM is so low. Tian against Angel.
He's trying Tian against the world at this point as Crisp is low as well. Khan is trying to run back here, but the Dragon is just gone. Suning will pick it up. Teleport being channeled. And now into it is Gimgoon, who just wants to go mid.
They're running through this mid lane. They want to get down this tier 2 tower, but at least Suning do get the dragon. They push us both to 3 dragons apiece. Baron on the cards. Suning will be backing away and can still look to defend. You can see pings going down galore over at that big purple worm.
Well, FPX, just when you think, oh, they found the fight, Suning managed to take away the dragon, take away the chances for any continuation of damage. And now, heading towards this Baron, this could be the nail in the coffin. FPX, Gimgoon's on the flank. But it's a Jayce. And we're 35 minutes in, so let's just see. Angel in with a host. Tian walking through, needs the steal here. SwordArt on zone patrol. Is it gone? Yes, it is by GP. And in the end, Bin was securing the Baron yet again in another game. And Gimgoon missing out. means Suning have everything. They turn onto Gimgoon, the undertow lands, Ragnarok is there. He channels his energy onto Bin, but is taken down by Hunafeng. The burst damage on the backside onto Bin. The ultimate comes through. Does he have the orange available? Not just yet. He's slowed on down. The dredge line will connect here onto SwordArt. Khan's in the middle, who's been carrying this game to get 2 quick kills. Over the wall is Tian. Chilling Smite is down. He doesn't have ulti, but he has a lot of damage. Onto Angel, the watch out. Eve does wonders. As the troll bubble doesn't matter because he goes golden. And FPX may lose the Baron, but they win the bloody war.
And now they can start to push through. You 40-second death timers and anyone on Suning. FPX, they may have just done it.
We'll see. Death timers are long, but Dagda, I like the optimism considering that it's only SofM. Running into this top lane turret, the minion wave still exists. The Baroned up minions trying to help defend. As at the bare minimum, it will be inhibitor. But FPX want this to go further. They shared the love with V5 and say, we need to get them to quarters, and we need better seeding. As running onto SofM, now the target instead of the turrets. He's in Ragnarok form, goes golden with the stopwatch, as SwordArt comes in with the soul flare, but the petrifying gaze. Doinb makes up for his earlier mishap, as SwordArt will die too. We're going to a game number 3 with some star performances out of our top laners. Let's just say it, it was Khan. 10-0-6. Maybe it is Dagda, because Khan lives. He wants this one on a 3rd.
Khan comes in, the substitute for LWX, and this Renekton pick pops off. And, well, LPL first pick Renektons. I mean, name a better duo.
All right. You know, this region surprises in many different ways, I'd say.
Oh, God.
Everyone was coming up, but FPX managed to do it in the end. That was a well-fought victory, but it was well fought.
Definitely a lot of
both
fights.
sides, yeah.
And this is the thing, is that Suning actually had a composition that, in theory, could have done very well against FPX. The thing was, though, Khan consistently finding these flanks, these big maneuvers, massive in these engagements, 9-0, maybe 10-0 by the end of that game. And when you look at, okay, let's try and maneuver around where Hunafeng is. Let's try and move around so then Bin can get off a bunch of these plays. It became very difficult to do because there just wasn't the zone control for Suning where they were backing into chokes, drawing FPX in, and it meant that Suning really struggled when we actually got to these late game fights.
Because people like Angel got an early lead and then we got to the mid game where he kept getting caught out. I feel like if Suning didn't get caught out as much, right, this game probably would have ended in 2-0. Because of how Suning was snowballing a lead once again. But it's amazing to me that we had such a fed Aphelios and we didn't get that big 5-on-5. FPX always looking for the picks, the flanks coming through, and Suning not disjointed, but spread out, sometimes a bit too far.
I think disjointed is a great word for it, because honestly, when I look at these fights, so say that last fight, for instance, we see that Baron play, right, we got it, Suning are looking great. SwordArt then engages down towards that bottom side. You've got Hunafeng who's stuck on the top side because you've got Gimgoon who's flanking on that point, so he's not able to move forward aggressively. And SwordArt in this squad needed to be that front line.
True.
He was the one who enabled Hunafeng, got the CC down, and actually enabled Bin as well as Hunafeng. Unfortunately, though, because of the way that these fights were and how disjointed and spread out they were, it meant that we couldn't enable Hunafeng, you couldn't have Suning enable Bin either, and it meant FPX were able to find skirmishes, which are far better for Jayce, far better for the likes of this Renekton.
And
even when we got to that point, Doinb was having enough damage to churn out to carry the fights as well.
All right, Miss Emily Rand, get on Twitter, put out the LPL gold graph. You know this one. Speaks volumes here for FPX. And I mean, even though Gimgoon did the most damage again, this was a game of Khan. Forget his damage, even though he's at the 80 carry position. Khan played top, and he played it so much better. He was left alone a lot of this game and just snuck ahead in these fights. Early couple of kills, another couple more. 10-0 and 6 or 7 by the end. And just a really good performance. Doinb hitting a great petrifying gaze in front of the Baron. But there were some moments which were disjointed. There were some back and forth moments from both teams. And this is what we expected coming into the series, where both FPX and Suning, through the regular season, have gone to a lot of 3-game series because there's always been that game which has been questionable. And then we get to that game 3, and it's like, is it an off day or an on day? For both these teams, I'm not sure.
And I think you hit a really good nail on the head, which is the ability for FPX continuously picking off Suning in these mid-game scenarios. We saw SwordArt continuously out of place, even in the early game as well, where he's trying to move up through this mid lane. We saw it happen to Bin a couple of times where he was overextended, and it ended up giving a bunch of gold back in favor of FPX. So when we got to those later fights, you've got dragons on FPX that really shouldn't be there, you've got gold on FPX that shouldn't be there, and it meant that these fights became so much harder for Suning than they really needed to be. So when I look at this series, I mean, if Suning are able to get these early leads and they can roll with them, fantastic. That's what game number 1 looked like. But game number 2 was showing that if you give FPX the opportunity to come back, they are more than capable of doing that.
Resilience will be the word we use. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a break, though. The very last split, the very last season, the very last game goes to game number 3. FPX and Suning fighting for seeding. And for Suning, their quarterfinal spot isn't going to be that easy to come by.